Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's reading and intuitive channeling. I felt called to combine these today. Just a 2025 energetic recap and then closing off with a reading. Just to be clear, those two, whatever energy comes from the reading and whatever energy is coming out from this intuitive channeling, they might not match. We're just going to walk a path here. So if you are watching, thank you. Always very grateful for your awareness, for every bit of awareness that I receive. So for the 2025 energetic recap, I feel called to really highlight and emphasize that hopefully by now, you know how to navigate all frequencies of victimhood and shame within you. Whenever external triggers happen that may make you feel small, disempowered, hopeless, like there's no solution, like you're deep, deep, deep within the dark. Hopefully you have some methods now with dealing with that, because there are certain frequencies that those occurrences are liable to trigger up within you that are going to start becoming extremely detrimental to the way that your life plays out. Like, maybe before it was okay for you to get away with thinking that you're a piece of shit or thinking that you're ugly, or rather thinking that you're a piece of shit or thinking that you're ugly or whatever, and letting that get you down. It's okay to be a piece of shit. It's okay to be ugly. It's okay to be you. And letting anything about this life make you feel like you are not deserving of being you, or not deserving because you are you. Anything along those lines, that stuff is dangerous. It's always been toxic, but it's going to become more toxic, and it's going to quicker reflect in your life, in my opinion, when you hold that frequency in you for extended periods of time that are unproductive for you. Because obviously sometimes that frequency is teaching you something. It's necessary. Shame can be a good teacher in certain respects, but for the most part, regarding the future that we're heading into, regarding the year that we are heading into and the one that we've just completed, by now we have to have something. We have to have something in our arsenal that's going to help us stay grounded, remember who the fuck we are, remember what the fuck this is. You know what I mean? By now you have your rituals in check. You have a way to connect with the other realms. You are somewhat aware of the other realms, or at least a possibility beyond yourself and what you're exposed to in your everyday life. You are connected, or at least are aware of members of existence who belong to your community, people who make you feel good, people who you align with and who you can feel are walking next to you. You know what I mean? And anyone in your circle or community who you feel isn't doing that for you, then you know who they are, and you know how to go about engaging with them in a way that, again, does not disempower you or put you in victimhood or too much in shame. We keep returning to that point because that, in my opinion, considering the astrological shifts that are also happening specifically under the archetype of Aries in tropical astrology, I haven't looked at what that means in sidereal, but I know that generally the frequency of Aries, the I am, the human existence and ability to apply will, in many cases, how that can manifest, all of that as an energy, I think, is what's going to be embodied across astrological systems, regardless of how this reflects in language, energetically, in my opinion. Next year is going to be very, very, very important for the will to do and the will to be and the will to think. All of that is going to be roomed or encouraged, expanded, catalyzed, set on fire in some way by God. And I think is going to be part of what makes next year dynamic, because that push, that energetic, I don't know what to call it. It feels kind of like, wow, it's so difficult to describe. David Clements described it recently in a conversation between him and Pam Gregory, which I'll link in the description, which I highly recommend again you watch. If what I'm saying doesn't resonate in the sense that you're not really feeling empowered, for example, or you're still feeling very victim-y, or you look towards the future and you feel afraid, please tap into David Clements' work. I highly recommend it. And I highly recommend you listen to it with an open mind and take in his words. There may be some concepts about the way that he engages with his work that is a little bit crazy to grasp, but the essence of what he's saying is true, and I assure you it will ring and awaken something within you. But you have to be open, and you have to be open to the information you're receiving. And I again as well encourage you to look into 3i Atlas, look into what's happening astronomically. There's so many things pointing towards the fact that we have every reason to be incredibly excited and to feel very, very energized about our lives and about being alive. So that frequency that I was trying to describe, that I'd mentioned, David Clements has mentioned, is this inner plasma shooting. Which sounds crazy as I'm saying it, but I believe, and I feel it, I can see it, what David Clements has said feels so resonant with me, that on an energetic level, our energy light bodies, whatever the space is between what connects our emotional well-being with our physical well-being, which I believe is the spiritual, that body is going to go through a huge woof from God, as if maybe God's presence is going to become more illuminated within our spiritual bodies, which will bring it into our awareness in our physical bodies and the way we think and the way we are, the Christ consciousness stuff. It's going to happen. I really feel it so strongly, and it's going to happen. It can only happen under our invitation, our belief, our acceptance of it, our knowing, our letting it in, receiving it, In my opinion, what is guaranteed to stop anyone from receiving it are feelings of shame. I can't. A contraction, fear. Again, all of these things can be medicine if transmuted and felt through with empowerment and a hope that you can feel it through. But when you're deep within that, in the shame, the guilt, whatever, it's a big blockage to be able to have that light that's waiting to explode within us, and it comes through to practically apply this, because for me, even as I say it now, it's very difficult to understand. But in the most practical sense, there will be more waves experienced of deep bliss, deep peace. Waves that many of us on an ego level expect to only come when we've achieved all of our dreams or our things, or the relationship or the state of being of life, like the state of external being. But this wave of peace and bliss and light and hope and connection to God is going to come on its own. It's always been due to happen on its own. It's just been a matter of us receiving it, being open to take it in. That openness is something that's always been due to happen, that is going to be kind of unlocked, in my opinion, by the astrological transits, by the state of the universe right now with all of the comets and 3i Atlas and everything else. There are disappearing comets, by the way. If you've been keeping up, in case you haven't been keeping up with 3i Atlas, there have been comets that appeared in a very specific point in our universe, and then they've disappeared. That's what's happened within this past month and a bit. So there's a lot going on. Again, so much pointing towards the fact that there's so much bigger than us going on right now. And the best that you can do is stay present. And again, as I opened with, by now, it's so incredibly mandatory that you have access to tools and ways of taking care of yourself that bring you to the present moment and that ground you in hope. Please pray. Please take prayer so seriously. If you are a parent and you have children, make praying for your children, literally getting down on your knees, lighting a candle, and praying for your children and your bloodline. Make it as important as like brushing your teeth or something. You know what I mean? Daily, as often as you can. Keep your children in high regard. If you are part of a community where people around you may have kids, you're an aunt and uncle or a godmother, godparent, or a friend has children, keep those children in high regard. All the children, keep them in your heart. Now is the time to protect them. I'm also receiving lots of new life coming in. New relationships, obviously that's been a build-up and is going to naturally happen with all of this light awakening within us. We're all going to connect to our groups, communities, and perfect partners and all of that shit. Like all that lovely, cute, lovey-dovey shit, it's definitely happening. Definitely. And with that is definitely going to come new life, new incarnations, randomly as well, new pets, new people adopting, lots of adopting pets is going to happen, which is lovely. If you feel called to that, then answer that call. Very important. And it's going to change your life. Notwithstanding, animals are their own consciousness as well. They're going through their own experience relative to whatever's written in their Akashic records. They have their own thing. And the way that they are written to merge with certain families is very spiritual, very energetic. So if you feel called to adopt a pet, go for it and lead with intuition on that one entirely, regardless of what is what. And lead entirely with your intuition. And you will come to such a beautiful, like you won't regret it. I've never seen that. Maybe, well, I'm sure there have been plenty, but in my energetic perceptions, there's no one who regrets getting a pet. It's always growth and it always ends up being such a loving venture. That was random. Health. Oh my God. So, okay, this energetic upgrade that's coming in will obviously it will obviously affect your physical state. And so in order to smooth that process along, it's very important. I mean, it's going to show up astrologically as well, that it's important to start looking after your health. All the planets are saying it. But I believe that this is also important because of that. Letting in this light, the upgrades, the change of life circumstance. Like there's going to be a lot that's technically going to be a shock to the system, to your whole system, including your physical. So to keep up with those changes, I highly recommend you start doing active work, gymming, yoga, whatever your personality and life can accommodate, really. But I highly recommend you looking after your health super urgently. There are so many things that are pointing to the reason that you should. Outside of our physical effects, I do believe that because of the energetic upgrade, it's going to bring everything about energy into very close attention, close view, intense perception. So things like what people have been saying about how fast food is like low vibrational, it really is. A low vibrational meal really is a low vibrational meal, and it's going to really start reflecting that way, the low vibrationalness of certain low vibrational meals, activities, perceptions, music, shows, all of that is going to be very serious. It's going to be so serious. It's funny now, and it can be made into a hilarious joke, and it does look a bit crazy when people with very loose discernment, or honestly, as it is, people with like with untended to energetic mental illnesses, people who take those lines to that degree without any kind of grounding, It's going to start looking crazy. It does still look crazy, but all of that is still sincere. Tending to your energy body through your physical, tending to your physical through your energetic, tending to all layers of yourself, doing everything very intentionally, very intentionally. I get the sense that as well, just doing that, you will get quicker results for everything. Like if you focus enough on wanting to get fit and changing your body type, whereas before, because everything was so dense and fearful and whatever, blood unclaimed, all of that stuff of the past, this old system that's cracking, things took longer to manifest. Now, things are going to manifest a lot quicker, in my opinion, like a lot quicker, which is also why, yeah, you have to be very vigilant. Lots of, birth of new things, so birth of new ideas. Entrepreneurship, it's starting to become for everyone. Yes, it does take a certain personality type to be a creator and to upkeep that. But I do think that that part of us has to do with the will, the Aries archetype, the belief in the self-confidence. All of that has to be addressed within you quickly so that come next year, you can start just creating things, doing things, just do things, just do things. Yes, exercise the just do things muscle within you. Take it far if you must. You're always safe, you're always protected. There's no such thing as an impulsive action anymore, especially with this Aries shift we're going into right now, this tropical Aries coded shift we're going into. Impulse is going to look a lot different. It's going to feel a lot different too. Also remembering that all of this is going to happen on a feeling level first. It's going to happen internally and then externally. You can expect a lot of lives to change next year. A lot. You know that thing of how, it could happen to anyone? Yeah, it could really happen to you. It could happen for you. It's highly likely going to happen for you if you can just back the energy up, back the self-belief, back the prayer, the ritual, the certainty, the spiritual grounding, the energetic fortification. You know what I mean? It really just takes a belief. Then turning that belief into a knowing. Then supporting that knowing with some action. You know what I mean? But that action always coming from that place of knowing, you're always going to be aligned. Like, yeah. Time is also going to start looking so insanely different. Oh my God, it's going to just get worse. It's all going to get worse. The time perception thing, it's slowing down, speeding up, slowing down while it's speeding up. It's going to... Life is going to start being very difficult to describe. It's already hard. It's going to get a little bit harder, a lot more funner. And we have to really open up to absolutely everything. But most importantly, deal with that victim shit. Stop pitying yourself if you are still in that state or if you still tend to do that. I'm working on that and I am champion self-pity. Work on that. It's really not useful going in to this. It's going to be very poisonous for you. And you'll see it in all the ways that you are and the way that you interact with others. Be open to that. Listen to the signals. I feel so strongly that the universe is going to constantly be on our side in supporting us and to recognize when we are in victim mode, That specific frequency, though, I feel is very important to address. Very important. No one feels sorry for you. No one has the time to, So you don't have to feel sorry for yourself. Don't feel sorry for yourself. You can do anything. There's always a solution. Don't ever feel sorry for yourself, not for too long. I think that's all I've got. That was the most important one. It is so important not to feel sorry for yourself. Really release that shame and pity shit. Oh my God. I've done a lot of work in addressing that within myself, and I'm coming to realize the more work I have to do that there's actually so much pity and shame in me, so much guilt. And it's when I look around, even to the people who I could claim I got the guilt from, even when I look at them, they don't hold as much shame and guilt as me. It's madness. It's like, whose guilt and shame is this? Who's telling you that you can't be yourself? I'm going to shuffle now. Okay. All right, I'm going to let this be a 3-card spread. I feel like I've already yapped enough. I guess this was mostly an intuitive channeling than it was a shuffling. But I did want to shuffle. My hands were itching. Awesome. Oh, so beautiful. Wow. Okay, we have an interesting story here. So we had the 9 of discs, followed by the sun. Such a beautifulness. Underneath the deck, I've seen the moon, the Knight of Cups, the Emperor. Yeah. With those cards, many things are coming up. Obviously, with the Knight of Cups and the Emperor, I'm thinking romance. But I am honestly tired of tapping into that energy, especially with the timing of this stuff. I feel like every time I tap into the energy, I get built up and so hyper-focused on the romantic part. Because also love romance and I love love and I'm so eager to be in a relationship. I really am. But it takes so much of my attention away from my own inner experience that I forget to be present. That may or may not be a channeling, actually. This card also specifically speaks of singlehood and finding joy with being with yourself, man. Finding joy with yourself. With the presence of the moon, I'm also getting that there's, as I opened with this, the feeling of shame, that the burning of that, the complete searing through of that frequency so that you can really start to feel yourself, feel confident in yourself, be sexier, because that confidence is very attractive. Being able to be in the moment is very attractive. You become naturally magnetic. So love that, loving the vibe of that. The Knight of Cups and the Emperor, the presence of those 2 cards. And I was pushing through the deck like this, you know what I mean? So it was very random. Specifically with this deck's Knight of Cups reference to inner self, the quest of the inner self and coming to. This again is a very energetic, spiritual, psychological, subconscious reading. Very beautiful energetic work is coming out of this period whenever it is that you're watching this. This is total inner fulfillment, regardless of what your external state is. Being able to enjoy everything that you have, being able to work really well with what you got, work really well with what you've got, and find joy in that, find joy in interacting with the leaf that you see, going on a walk and feeling the crunch of whatever beneath your feet, the gravel, the moment, the wind, the clouds, all of it. Huge presence in the moment is what I'm receiving here, which is so wonderful and which is honestly what I feel personally in this moment myself. After all of this fucking work, this was a very difficult moon, very difficult full moon that we just came out of a few days ago, December 2025. Difficult stuff. With the presence of this card, I'm also remembering that we're in the middle of a solar flare and we're actually completing apparently a solar cycle, which means that I read this morning. It means that the activity, solar activity in general, is going to be amped up before it decreases again. You know that period of before. So the person I read this from, Stefan Burns, reported that there may be a lot of lightning action, which I think in turn is going to imply a lot of energetic action from the earth itself. Not so much earthquakes, but I would say grounding would be helpful. I did get some time in the sun. If you are blessed with the presence of the sun in your life today, I would highly recommend being in the presence of that. Just standing with your arms wide and, showering yourself in it. Dancing in the sun was also very joyful for me. That's what I did myself. That's all I'm receiving for now. Oh, yes, and I don't know if I extended on this. The presence of the Emperor and the Knight of Cups is also giving a will to apply joy for yourself in that regard. So if you're not feeling this period now, then I would highly recommend you actioning out a thing that you know will make you happy after, and you'll be surprised by how happy you feel after. I'm going to pull one more card. This is actually a very effective reading on its own. Like it has everything that it needs. To me, this is a very full meal, a full meal of joy and total presence, the kind of bliss that really is unaffected by what money you have, by what's happening around you. That song, It Don't Matter, 'cause life has never been better. If you haven't heard that song, you should listen to it. It's a really beautiful story, and I love the vibe it gives this, honestly. Next, you have the Knight of Rods and the King of Rods. Total and deep focus on the spiritual state is what I'm receiving. A deep invitation of that, an instruction for you to do that in order for you to get into this, a moment of bliss and presence. Beneath the deck, you have the Three of Swords. So with this presence, and then the Six of Discs. Maybe you've been through quite a bit of pain, or maybe you've been processing quite a bit of pain. And some part of that is, no, it's not. I was going to say it's like blocking you somehow, but it isn't. With these two cards I'm receiving, you're incredibly hopeful of your connection to it. You know that it's there. You have an awareness of a sense of joy, your intuition, your light. You're connected to it. You're very well connected to it. And I must say congratulations on that, because it's very difficult to maintain, especially in these times. It's a challenge on purpose. Hi, Lisa. I'm doing really well. Thank you. I'm doing so well. I hope you're well too. You're so locked in. You have truly successfully processed you've transmuted a lot of heartache here. Your own, and possibly something that you took for granted. Like some shitty things happened. You were strong about the way that you processed it, but you're realizing how much that affected you, but you're still pushing anyway. You know what I mean? You're still pushing. You have the hope, you have the stamina, you have the focus. This card also speaks of being connected to your intuitive wisdom. Sorry, this one speaks of connection to your intuitive wisdom. And this, to me, is the root of all intuitive wisdom, all religion, all ritual practices, all spirits and cultures and tribes. They all have this. When we think of God, this is it, essentially. God through the human experience, in my opinion. These two cards represent that perfectly. This is so naturally, innately intuitive. This is truly wisdom. This is true wisdom to me. So congratulations. And if you don't feel it, then you can definitely expect it very, very soon. A sense of pure joy, spiritual insight, those energetic upgrades, all that shit. Wonderful. Mwah. Bellissimo. Beautiful time in life. I hope you can enjoy it. I really do. It's very important that you maintain presence. And any sense of depression or misalignment internally within you, just know that it's going to pass. Wait it out, respect it, thank it for its presence, be present with every feeling and emotion, be honest with what you feel like doing and what you don't feel like doing when you're feeling like shit, and then let it pass, because it always does. It always will. All your lows, they always pass. Please have faith in that. If you're going to believe that anything is forever, at least believe that your joy is forever, that your inner light and your connection with God, and that God's faith is forever, faith in God. Shit always works out, man. It is so enough not believing in that. That is all I have in today's offering. Thank you so much for tuning in. I feel so energized right now. I'm so grateful that I was present for this. I really, really love this work. I really do. Many thanks, all my love, and I will see you in the next reading.